Nobody ever helped me. I had to do it myself. Even the doctor didn't know.
Dude, keep it together. I listened to you for half an hour, even though most of that stuff went right over my head.
And when they cut to the President of the United States, you call your kids in from the other room because you want them to hear what the President of the United States has to say.
I don't know how to characterize that from our president except as grotesque.
And by the way, you know, I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
History is going to question whether or not this was just a partisan lynching. It seems to me that the process is being demeaned. And I have great faith in Henry Hyde, but old Henry better get on the job, because unless he figures out how to corral this, no matter what happens, even if the president should be impeached, history is going to question whether or not this was just a partisan lynching or whether or not it was something that, in fact, met the standard, the very high bar that was set by the founders as to what constituted an impeachable offense.
And indeed, it is a political lynching.
Political lynch mob.
I will not vote for this lynching.
We're in so much hurry to get this done so it can be in the Saturday, Sunday news cycle and have our mint juleps at 5 o'clock. We are going to find a rope, find a tree, and ask a bunch of questions later.
How dare the president compare lynching to impeachment?
I don't know how to characterize that from our president except as grotesque.
Thousands of African Americans were slaughtered during the lynching epidemic in this country for no reason other than the color of their skin.
How dare he do this? Does he not know the history of lynching in this country?
The president should not compare a constitutionally mandated impeachment inquiry to such a dangerous and dark chapter of American history. It's irresponsible for him to do so, and I hope that he will apologize.
Does he not know that thousands of African Americans were lynched? Mob violence? Does he not know that this is the equivalent of murder? How dare the president compare Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution, a lawful constitutional process, to mob violence and lynching? It makes you no better than those who burn crosses. It makes you no better than those who wear hoods and white robes. Do you not understand what you're doing to this country?
Went on in 24 years ago with the President of the United States. This day feels to me like we're taking a step down the road to becoming a political lynch mob. We're in so much hurry to get this done so it can be in the Saturday, Sunday news cycle and have our mint juleps at 5 o'clock. We are going to find a rope, find a tree, and ask a bunch of questions later. It will be too late for fairness. We can go back and get another rule, a fair rule that would give the opportunity to the president, and secondly, to protect those people that even Mr. Starr says needs to be protected, for heaven's sakes. He didn't recommend we rush out here and do this at 100 miles an hour. And I think that this House is acting way too fast for any kind of fairness. Everyone here knows the public's going to get this. I urge you to vote no.
Gentlemen, what we are doing here is not a prosecution, it's a persecution. And indeed, it is a political lynching.
I call this the nightmare before Christmas. And the American people find it difficult to believe that here we are on this day talking about impeaching a president who just came back from the Middle East almost with a peace accord. This is not about impeaching Bill Clinton. This is about trying to roll back the clock. This is about impeaching affirmative action, impeaching women's rights. This is about taking America back rather than moving it forward. I know how I'm going to vote. My people have told me I will not disregard the people who elected me. 70% of them have said to me, protect the president. Vote to keep this president in office. So I will not vote for this nightmare before Christmas. I will not vote for this lynching in the people's house. I will vote against these resolutions.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
It is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right. What's up, brother?
You got me cracking up over here, man.
Sorry to make you go through that. No, we just talked. I was like, I don't got nothing. I'm going to cut right in. And then I thought, while that 5 minutes, I was like, I'm going to play this. I don't know if you saw it, but I knew. Man, what the heck?
That was hilarious, dude. That was hilarious.
What do you think of all that nightmare before Christmas? Here we are all these years later.
Here we are. And another nightmare. Here we go.
You know,
freaking Joe Biden is a walking meme guy. He just the memes write themselves with this guy.
Is he really losing his mind, or is he playing a game to be like, so when it comes down, it can be like, look, look at my video evidence. I'm nuts. I don't belong in prison. Put me in the, you know.
I don't know. That guy is out of it, man. That guy is out of it. But that was great. Watching Al Green talk about, you know, lynchings and how dare you steal my dreams.
It almost sounds good, you know.
Sure threw that little climatologist girl up in there.
Oh, man.
What's her name? Thermbol or Thermgall or
who did they say she looked just like? Somebody brought up like a meme and who she looked just like, and it was dead on. I was like, oh my gosh. Hilarious. How is all the Patriots doing in here? It's kind of a little later than I normally do, but hey, you know, I don't mind it. 9 o'clock. Got American Joe on. How is everything going, brother, on your end? Talk about your channel a little bit.
Well, it's actually going good. I hate to say that because I don't want to jinx anything here, but you know, they had my channel on lockdown for a very long time. They wouldn't let me grow. They kept taking away subscribers, unsubscribing people, and then something changed, man. I got one video that went semi-viral. It got like 600,000 views, and I got about like 10,000 new subscribers over the past 4 or 5 days. So that was excellent because I was sitting at like I was sitting at 43 for a very long time. They would not let me grow. They kept kicking my subscribers out and stuff.
And you were at like the 0.7, like or something like the for a while. 52.7 is what I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then you said you'd gain about the number to make it flip, but then it would go down and you'd start over.
Oh, yeah. It's just annoying as crap, you know. And they wouldn't let my videos ever get views. You know, I get like maybe 2,000 views average, and then a really good video would get maybe 5,000, maybe if I got lucky.
But you're saying you just had one get 600K recently in the last week or two, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I just put it up about I think 7 or 8 days ago.
How did I miss that? Like, what the heck?
It's the one with the white truck and the guy who gets out and beats the crap out of the other guy.
Okay.
People love watching people get the crap beat out of them. So.
No, that's what I got me booted for the one with the Antifa, and it wasn't even all that violent. It was just them throwing something at some guy, and they said I was promoting violence. So I was like, wow, I took a strike and everything, get shut down like 90 days, no live. I was like, whoa,
whatever.
I learned my lesson. Whatever. That is interesting. Well, I would say shortly around the time we did and talked about being locked, I was sitting at all these zeros. I emailed and got some conversation going back and forth with the tech thing at YouTube. Well, they gave me a line of crap. Oh, no, it's all fine on our end. And I'm like, really? And I went into a little bit more detail, and then they came back like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, fine. I didn't want to push it. Well, then after that, them telling it all got better. So I've been kind of noticing a growth in mine.
Do you know when that started? When did that start?
When was that? I would say maybe 2.5 months ago, that by me getting a hold of somebody and having conversations and them telling me nothing was wrong, then it got better instantly. Like they did something to make, like, yeah, nothing's wrong here. But it was slow, but it's gotten a lot better since when you got a hold of me, maybe a month ago or 3 weeks ago, like on a Saturday saying, hey, and we talked and you said some things had changed. So I went and looked at mine. I had live back. I had the join membership is available. So all these things, and that was when you told me, but I kind of quit looking at certain things months ago by, and then you kind of sparked me to run up here to the studio and take a look. But man, so I don't know.
So I really wonder what it is. I just watched Owen Benjamin. He put up a video and said that he has a YouTube insider who told him that his channel's taken down on the 10th of December. It's gone for good. Wow. 272,000 now. My channel's still monetized. I think your channel's still monetized, or you wouldn't be able to have memberships, right? So
yes,
I think as long as we're still monetized, we still qualify as commercially viable, is the phrase. So I think we're going to see. I mean, I really can't really understand what their game plan is here. I did see an interesting video, though. You know how we've been getting yellow dollar signs a lot? I get them almost
That's it.
every
That's all
video
I get.
upload.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's supposed to be going away. Supposedly, once this new COPPA thing takes effect, there's not going to be any more of that because they're going to be bringing on advertisers that are more for adult content.
Okay.
So I think the video I watched said that that's probably going to be going away as YouTube looks for more suitable advertisers.
Okay.
Which there's millions of advertisers out there that would advertise on your show, on my show. Of course there are. Don't be stupid. That's a ridiculous idea to think there aren't people that would advertise. Of course they would.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. If you got the numbers there, like, I don't know. I would go back to last December, about a year ago. This channel gained 34,000 the month of December of 18. And then January of 19, earlier this year, it gained 44,000. And then February, it was like 800. And it's been like that, under 1,000 for every month since February.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, did you have some videos go viral in that time?
Oh, yeah. They were, that's where I had one that went, I think I got a 600,000 at this point too. And then one at 5, like I got several in the month of December. It was like, it was just unleashed. But then they were talking about calling channels like conspiracy channels. And if you got that label, that's when all that first little wave hit, where it's like, whoa, the channel kind of, well, I just watched 60 Minutes. You got to check 60 Minutes out from Sunday. If you could find it on YouTube.
Susan Wojcicki?
Yeah, they had her on from YouTube, and she said, oh, with our thing that we put in, we were able to censor 70% of these channels, like yours, mine. And that's what I think we all felt this whole year, basically, was that suppression of not getting movement, not, stagnant, dead in the water, almost. Yeah. I mean, there's no way you have 50 or I have 165,000 and you put a video out and you only get, 8,000 views. It just doesn't, it's not proportion. Yeah. The amount of alerts going out there, geesh.
Yeah. So what do you think, man? I'm Kamala dropped out, which is no big shocker for anybody watching this show. I'm quite sure we all knew that was going to happen. And it's kind of funny. It came out right after her one of her campaign staffers dropped a letter to the I think the New York Post, a public letter saying she's not paying people. She's making people move across state lines and then laying them off when they get there. So I think that was the catalyst of her decision to pull back out, and it was probably just a way to save a little tiny bit of face for her. But yeah. I mean, who do we got left? I mean, you got pedo Joe Biden here, who loves little kids. He should be in jail. I've got videos of him touching little girls all over the place. It's video evidence. Where's the Justice Department? I don't know. You got Buttigieg, who America is not ready for the world's first gay president. I'm here to tell you right now, that's just not going to happen. And what else we got? We got Pocahontas, and the world's not ready for the first white Indian woman either to be president. That's not going to happen. So I think we're down to Hillary Clinton's going to jump in, and she's going to run to the finish line, buddy. She's going to get the nomination because Bernie ain't going to get the nomination. Yeah, no, I don't know. So what did they start with? 24 was it? It was like, and we know a slot machine can only hold so many quarters, but there was whatever, and now they're dropping. But you got new people coming in. I already told the people on my channel. I said, if and when we hear, well, I'm pretty sure we'll hear Hillary announce that she's in. That's when the indictment or something has got to be like right there, because I believe she's going to pull the same thing as Joe. You know, hey, I'm a political enemy of Trump's. Look at him. You can't go after me. Seems to be the new thing, you know. See, here's my theory with Hillary is that, you know, she's got all these people they've got her convinced that she actually lost because of Russia collusion. She still believes that Russia collusion thing, right? Yes. And she thinks, you know, she won that popular vote, so she should be the victor, even though we've never elected a president via popular vote for, I think, a couple hundred years now it's been, okay? So I don't know what she's talking about. But beyond that, she's got all this money, all this power. What does she want more than anything? She wants her legacy in the history books to be set right, because right now she got her ass kicked by a reality show billionaire, okay? That's the way the left is spinning it, and the right is laughing at her. And here she is, this lifelong politician who got her butt handed to her solidly. So she wants another shot at that championship belt. Let me tell you, my friend. Oh. Now, when is she going to get in? Now's a good time. Now's a great time to get in. Oh man, I don't know. Oh. And that would be so awesome for us. Can you imagine how fired up Trump's base would get if she got in the race, man? That would be awesome. It's probably going to happen. I can probably agree with most of that. She's scorned. She's mad that she, she lost twice in two different separate 08 and then 2016. So she get in again and be a third loss. That'd be very devastating to her ego there. She'd have to lock herself in a log cabin and drink cocoa and cry herself to sleep for 8 months instead of 6 months. Yes. So you brought up a good point though, the whole Russia. So even like Mueller, his 2-year-long investigation, when they have that, every time it comes up, the official whole story is Russia hacked the DNC. That's how they name it on the official government paperwork without any real detail. And we have blown through that. I don't know if you know Will Benny. He worked for the NSA. He helped write the whole program that spies on everybody, and then he quit, and he's a whistleblower. He's, Army whistleblower, worked for the NSA, but he looked at that source code that came on WikiLeaks, like the one WikiLeaks dropped the exact file. And just to not bore you with this detail, but anytime you even take like a little thumb drive, if you were to put a thumb drive in your computer, or if you download something off the internet, anytime you download it to your hard drive, or if you were to just shove a thumb drive in and move something off your computer to that thumb drive, other than the file coming there, there's a stringer line of code telling you how quick it moved off the computer, whether you downloaded it via the network or whether you have a hard drive, thumb drive plugged right in. And William Benny and their team, they analyze that code, and any time the file is moved, it changes, but they saw that it had a certain speed behind it, that it got moved.
Well, back in those few years ago, even though people have a really high speed internet, the quickest that you can go from the country of Russia under the ocean, because that's how it works, to the U.S. or any other means you're trying, was a download speed. Even if you had a gigabit yourself or 700 megabytes, didn't matter how quick your speed is because of how far you're going and the different servers you have to go through. But they tested it, and it was like, I'm going to say a speed of like 28.9 megabytes per second. That's just grabbing something. And a lot of people think that's a slow amount, but the file says it's 49, that it got transferred at 49 points. So it's almost like double the speed of what was allowed from Russia, the country of Russia, to the DNC server. So it doesn't hold water. And I don't know if we've gone over this before, but their whole narrative of the Russia thing, we all know it's a hoax anyway, but it doesn't even hold water. And I have to stop at that very first thing, because after that line item, when they want to say Russia hacked the DNC, then they go into all this other stuff that I can't even follow along with because of that very first little item there that I have a hard time getting past until the government can explain it a little better. It proves to be that it was more remote, like, somebody in DC maybe did it through a network. You can do it that way. That would have been fast enough. Or remote, right, access to the damn machines, which would point to like Seth Rich or something, which we've all heard that name and possibly what he did.
Here's the problem, Mike. Here's the problem, Mike. You got half the country, or a little less than half, I think, we know that the government subpoenaed Hillary Clinton for emails, that she deleted over 30,000 emails. She destroyed hard drives with hammers, cell phones with hammers, used bleach bit to erase these hard drives so they couldn't be tracked. And they still don't buy it. They still don't accept the truth of it. So your notion about the speed of this transfer of data is going to be completely irrelevant to that half of the country. They're not going to look at that at all. They're going to be completely blind to it. And you don't have to convince the other half of the country, because all of us think we should have been in jail a long time ago. And should be sitting in jail right now, because she keeps hanging people. We keep, now Epstein's banker just got found hanging.
Deutsche Bank or whatever.
Yeah. So now Epstein's gone, hung himself, or got hung by one of Hillary's wonderful people, and now his banker and anybody else connected. Right before he was getting ready to be interviewed by the FBI, Hillary makes a little phone call, or Bill, one of them, makes a little phone call and makes things happen. Now, that's not a conspiracy theory, YouTube, so just relax. Relax. I don't want to get Mike in trouble here.
No, it's all good. Well, how about, like you said, you're right, because even though they're that smart, Hillary and them, she can come out and talk to her supporters like, oh, I wiped that hard drive with a rag, acting dumb, even though she knows exactly what the heck the person was asking. But, and it plays well with a lot of the supporters, I guess. And you're right. They're everything. Horowitz already came out with a charge for Comey, even, and it's the same charges that everyone around Trump's gone down for. Paul Manafort, Flynn, Roger Stone. Now they've all went down for that same obstruction or whatever, lying. And all these people around Hillary, like you said, showed up with cell phones broken in pieces. The actual company, Platte River, got the paperwork from Congress to withhold anything they had, and they decided after they got those subpoenas, like, don't destroy anything, it's all going to be da-da-da. They decided to go ahead and do it 14 days later, after the guy from that company got on to Reddit and looked up how to permanently get rid of stuff. Now they use the excuse that Hillary told us 2 years ago to get rid of this stuff, and we never did. We sat on it, and then you guys give us subpoenas. We were in a hard spot. Like, we were already told to get rid of it, so it should be gone. But now we got paperwork from you to preserve it. We went ahead and got rid of it. Nobody got in trouble for that, and that is straight up like. So yeah, I could talk all day long about the injustices, and that sucks. But I do feel it's different. I believe Horowitz, and it doesn't matter what Horowitz does here in the next. About the dates coming up, right? He's definitely releasing it on the 9th. He testifies on the 11th. Congress adjourns on the 13th. And it doesn't matter. They're saying, oh, Horowitz is going to undermine everything. Well, don't take 500 pages. We know this thing's 500 pages deep like a phone book. It doesn't take 500 pages to tell us about a whole bunch of people that didn't do nothing. So it has to be trying to explain a whole bunch of stuff. And they're saying Horowitz's end results on a lot of stuff. It shows all the crimes, but it's going to kind of twist it wasn't spying, it was FBI work. Just like, we say somebody's a rat or a mole or an informant, but they use the word confidential handler, human source, CHS, that's what we call them, confidential human source, not mole or rat. So we're playing that word porn as well.
Yeah.
We'll see, man.
I mean, are we trying to hide the fact that the CIA is involved in spying? Is that something we're supposed to be ignoring now? I mean,
yeah,
I don't really understand that concept.
I mean, John Brennan went over to the Ukraine, with a fake passport. He's the head of the, at the time, whatever it was, it wasn't the CIA, but the DIA or whatever. But he shows up to their country and enters falsely. I mean, that's crazy. Who did he show up as? What was his passport? One of the people they framed on Trump. So, about 230, 240. Hey, I just wanted to tell everyone, thanks to all the new members here. I think we had one today. I see Grillin in the room. If you guys are here, if you're not familiar with American Joe, I'd suggest I'm going to leave the link down below for his channel so you can get right over there and get subscribed. Again, we're just coming out of a tail end. He just had an awesome viral video. I would say 600,000 is viral. What kind of numbers was that getting? Were you looking at the analytics? 20,000 an hour? Or
I didn't really dig into. You mean as far as what, subscribers, or are we talking about views?
Well, yeah,
per
like
hour?
I always when I get done posting something, I'll keep that up, and even if I leave the room, I'll kind of come back in and I'll keep an eye on what the channel or what a certain video is doing per hour, and that's what I can tell. The one that I had that got 600,000 took off and was getting like 25,000 an hour. So I was like, holy crap, and it did that for like 12 or 13 hours at that level. And you could also always look at how many that video brought you in subscriber-wise. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's still moving a little bit here, and we'll see. I mean,
did I get to stay monetized, by the way, or no? Did it go yellow?
Oh no, don't be silly. They're not gonna do that, Mike. Come on. But that's okay. I'm
Let's
just
see how
glad
nice
that
they
people
were
can
being.
find my channel again.
Let's see how nice they were being.
I'm going to take every little bit as it comes. That's all. Because we got an uphill battle to fight against the media. Being pro-Trump voices out there is got a really big target all over us. So, and the media is going to use their powers to try to affect this election. We've already seen with an undercover video what one of the executives at Google said. They're not going to let 2016 happen again. So they're going to do everything in their power to stop that. And they've already implemented those plans. So,
yeah, what do you think about all that? The Project Veritas. I mean, you weren't probably shocked. I mean, people like me and you, we knew this, but I mean, it's just, it is pretty sickening, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's expected, man. I mean, I know what goes on, what people are saying and what they're doing. I mean, it's just obvious. And then when they try to deny it, or when people on the left try to deny it, I mean, if you ask somebody on the left, just ask a random leftist, a random progressive or liberal walking down the street, hey, do you think there's any sort of media bias against Trump supporters? They're going to laugh at you. They're not going to believe it, because to them that's a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
They don't experience it firsthand. I mean, I've had so many problems on my channel over the past 6 months, man. Like, they'll kill live streams. I have to restart live streams. I'll get a live stream up to a couple hundred people. They'll cut it, and I'll start seeing my number go from 220 down to 50 down to 2, and then I'll restart it, and then it'll go up to 75. So I just lost half those people. Because they'll cut the stream, and they don't come back. They're not going to go looking around for your show, So they just play a lot of games like that. They have full control over everything, and that's unfortunately the game we're playing right now. So we got to play by their rules, you know, put out wise content that doesn't hopefully trigger anything that's going to get the, you know, channel deleted. Like you were talking about earlier with that copyright strike you recently got. I mean, that's just the game we got to play, man. But that's okay. We're going to play the game, and we're going to win the damn game.
That's right. Did you?
All I needed Trump to do is to start TrumpTube for us. If he spends one of his billion and starts up TrumpTube and just puts out a tweet about it, every one of us will go over there and jump on it, and then it'll be the most popular video platform.
That's right. Well, TrumpTube. That's funny. I like that. You want to talk about the upcoming border or what Doug is up to? Because that's huge. By the way, I had heard Trump talking about. He brought it up really well. It was on a talk show, and he's like, you know, what do you ever heard of 100,000 people killing an American? And, you know, if you heard of that, what would you typically do? Oh, we'd be at war with them or doing something. He's like, well, that's a cartel in Mexico. You know, 100,000 Americans a year. And I had to like, I knew it was bad. I never heard the number. And I went off and I did a day's worth of research and holy crap, per year. And then, you know, Trump trying to get the Mexican government to declare these are terrorists. I can understand that fear because probably drones and everything else all of a sudden can invade your country. But what do you think about that?
I'm not in favor of sending our troops into Mexico to fight the cartel. I don't like going into other countries and just putting our lives on the line. I wouldn't mind staging our military along our southern border. I think that would be a good idea. Yeah. And if the cartel want to come and play games, then we put them down like rabid dogs. Just put them down. Just put them down when they come over the border and try their nonsense. The problem is we've got too many government officials involved in the trafficking, the drugs, all that stuff flowing. See, they're flowing the drugs over to us, and we're flowing the weapons over to the cartels. Yes. It's a two-way street, and our government and our politicians are profiteering off of this arms trade.
Yeah, that's why we see the resistance against it. That's why there's such a huge resistance. And they don't come out and say it in that way. They act like, no, it's inhumane. But you're right. You can't. So we could play that role where we stack up on the border, and if they try to do what they've always been doing all these years, we just kind of stop them at that point instead of maybe going and headhunting them in their country. I could agree. I can get on board with that.
Because what happens if we go into Mexico, you realize what happens every time we go into any country. We set up shop there for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't ever go in and out of any place. You know, we just go and we stay. So I always said, if you're going to do that, then why don't you just, you know, wage a war on evil, get it over with, and then you can fight wars forever for 1,000 years and never have to stop fighting wars, because that's apparently what so many people want. They want to keep fighting wars for, you know what? I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the hell we're fighting right now for. What are we fighting for? What are we in the sandbox for? Somebody tell me why we're in the sandbox 18 years later.
Yeah, no. Well, the whole thing was this war on terror, which we talked about. You can't fight that. It's a forever. Every time you take one down, you just probably created 5 more because of the ideology behind it. But, yeah, the war on terror was meant to be the forever war that we had. It was supposed to go across all countries, even our own. Because at Trump saying that, if we have cartel here that are sneaking in, then we have them here, and he wants to create a war on them, against them, then that might be here as well. I don't know, because they're here. Isn't it wherever they are, or is it just in Mexico because that's where they're coming from? I mean, you know, you got to look at that they're spreading out. If they're here, they're here. Yeah, I don't know what I think about that, but I know there's been nothing done, so I'm looking for something to happen. The border. Did I see a video you had titled that it's not being built, that it's not getting built at all, or very slowly? Yeah, the border wall, or is it being built?
Yeah, it's being built. I mean, not as fast as we would all like it to be built, obviously, but some work's being done on it. And as you know, me and Douglas Ducote are working on a border investigation that is supposed to launch in January and be a 2,000-mile journey across the southern border, where we're going to document everything and bring the truth. Doug's been down to the southern border since we launched our first marathon. He's been down there a couple times to Brownsville, and I'm sorry about that. And he's posted quite a few videos on his channel of some of the stuff we're seeing down there. But here's the issue: you know, we had a budget of $450,000, I think it was the total budget for the entire trip and all the staffing and all the equipment and the security and everything. And we raised a tiny portion of that money. So now with the money we've raised, we've got to make a decision. You know, do we want to try to do a very small version of that big plan we had because people gave their hard-earned money to that cause? We want to see that money get spent towards that vision of what we were trying to accomplish, but we're so far from the mark. So I told Doug, I said, listen, man, I mean, he's got 160,000 subscribers. I've got 50-some thousand. So we got over 200,000 subscribers. If people really want to see this thing happen, you know, we're going to ask our subscribers, you know, if everybody can kick in $2 or $3, can everybody kick in $3 to help us make this happen? And if we can get a large number of people to do that, pitch in $3, we can make this thing happen, and we can go and really make it happen. Because if you go watch what Doug's doing down there and the videos he's producing down there, it's pretty sickening, some of the stuff that we're seeing down there, man. And it's eye-opening stuff you're never, ever, ever going to see anywhere on mainstream media, ever. They're just not going to show it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to kill everything about the narrative about the southern border that they don't want you to know about. They do not want you to know. And it's dangerous as hell down there right now, man. Like you talked about the cartels, they do not screw around at all. You know, so.
See, there you go. This is what I was excited for. Not excited, but I was totally on board. And whenever you guys do that, or however it works, miniature version, if you could still go live, I'll still tap in and rebroadcast. Because like you said, we're not. And when I was asking that, are we building the wall? I wasn't being stupid. I don't know. And that must have not been yours, but I thought I saw somebody I'm subscribed to had a video up that the wall is not getting built. And I was like, what is that? And I never got a chance to watch it a couple days ago, but,
might have been Doug's video. I don't know.
And it might have just been a point being made or something. But, you know, like Trump says, it's the Department Corps of Engineers now building it, and they're getting it done. But yet I have not seen it because I'm not down there. So I'm going to rely on you guys or Real News or Doug. But I'm going to catch up. I got it written down here to catch up on a few of those, some Doug's latest videos.
Make a note in your little notepad, Mike, so you don't forget.
Yes, got to. No, and I think you guys are doing great, and I'm behind that. So the next time you guys do another push or whatever you decide to do, keep me involved in the loop on that, man. Please.
Roger that.
That's good stuff. All right, we are getting down to that time. Let me see here. We can take some questions. If you guys got any, we could turn to the chat. Let me see here.
I can't really see the chat. I see a comment on the top of the screen here. It's like, is that a random comment or is that every comment that comes up?
This vMix, I got it up to where I can set up, I can send certain ones there if I want, or just it's random right now. It just randomly picks, I think, I don't even know the number I have it set to, but it'll randomly pick one.
Nice. I want to say thank you to you, man, because you got some mad editing skills. And you put together this montage of some military stuff with some cool music. And I asked you if I could use it. I've been using that on every live stream since I asked you that because it's such a great opener for a live show.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know if everybody else likes it, but I love it, you know, so I'm going to keep using it. So thank you.
Yes, no problem. All right, here, I'm going to pull up. I can pull up the chats for us for a minute, I think, here. I can do this. There we go. All right, you should be able to see.
Yes.
Puff, puff, pass.
What
Silver Wolf.
the hell's going on in your chat room?
They're smoking again in the room. Come on, this is no smoking. I'm just joking, you guys. Smoke them if you got them.
Are you all ready for disclosure? What disclosure are we talking about? Aliens? I've been ready for aliens ever since I was like 8 years old. Let's go, people.
At the Patriot Hour, Doug and Show No Borders. What is he saying here? This info is one of Doug Ducote's videos. I don't know. I missed that. Let me see. Oh, somebody dropped it. Grillin dropped your link. Perfect. Thanks, Grillin.
Thanks, Grillin. I appreciate that.
At the Patriot Hour, Doug and Dustin showed no borders. Linda Horner.
Yeah, that's right.
What does that mean?
Well, they took the cameras down to the borders down there and showed where the borders are not being protected at all.
Gotcha.
Miles and miles and miles of places where there's a lot of traffic of these illegal invaders coming into our country.
Battery addiction. My first time here.
Oh, battery addiction. I know battery addiction. Welcome to the show, brother. Saber-toothed cat bird song. I want to do a show one day of how people come up with their YouTube usernames, man. I know. Come up with some of the cool stuff.
I was just saying that. Some really interesting ones.
So is everybody high in your chat room, or is anybody got some questions?
We just jumped
in.
in.
Totally legal now. Totally legal. I totally don't judge you now. So
why doesn't Trump wear glasses? Because he's already got 20/20. Yes. Guess I.
Yeah, Nunes. I just read that he's suing.
Oh yeah.
Who's he suing? Like $435 million lawsuit. CNN, is it?
Yeah. He. That's a good one.
Put a hurt on him. Put a hurt on him, Nunes.
That might take him down. Like.
Well, I don't know if it'll take him down, but it's going to definitely hurt. I think. What's that one kid's name who's suing MSNBC for a couple $100 million?
The redhead
kid.
The Covington kid or something.
Sand something or other.
Nick Sandman or something.
Sandberg. Whatever. That guy's going to put MSNBC out of business right there. Is it MSNBC?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, did you see where they did a story where they were talking about Richard Spencer from the administration, Richard Spencer, and they were talking about him, and they put up a picture of the white supremacist Richard Spencer, but they were talking about the White House administrative Richard Spencer. I'm like, Are you guys serious right now? Who's running MSNBC right now? Who is actually over there right now? And how many people is MSNBC? Like 4 or 5 people? And
well, it's like when they tried to charge the one Trump lawyer, even though he might be a bad guy or try to screw Trump over, the one that's in jail. What was his lawyer? But you could tell they did a search on the NSA data bank without looking because they said that he went overseas to Prague or something. And then he had proved, like, I've never been there. And they're like, oh, it was a different... same name altogether, and they're like, well, how would you come up with info like that to slam against this guy because you didn't do enough research and look at a picture of the one that you looked up or something? Oh, there, look, he went here. All right, write it down, and then we'll stick it to him. And then it wasn't him. It's like, how do you get that wrong? Because you're doing sloppy work on that system that you're not supposed to be in.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Cohen. There you go, Cohen. Can't remember the guy. He's doing a hard time now, so he's out of sight, out of mind. Right. Idiots at MSN. I agree. All right, you guys, you got any questions for Joe? One or two little questions here. I see lots of couple of
math questions.
No math.
Not good at math.
No science, no history. Just keep
it
up.
Science. I can do science questions. I can do science. History. All my history I get from Pawn Stars, so I don't know. It's not much.
I did a video the other day on. It was called "This is a Second Democratic Coup in America," because it kind of went over around Lincoln, and there was 4 people hung, 2 women, 2 guys. There was hundreds of people arrested shortly after his assassination, but they had no evidence, so they had to let hundreds of people go. But 4 people ended up getting hung. Pretty interesting stuff.
Did Hillary Clinton do the hanging, or
it was her great grandmother was around back then? She organized the whole thing, I guess.
Mildred
Rodham was her name.
Mildred Rodham. Dude, when you turn over your shoulder and laugh, you look like Dr. Evil. It's awesome.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
You're like, all right, who's smoking now? I think we're the ones smoking.
Yes. Well, I'm glad Kamala Harris is done. That's one more down.
One charade shut down. One more charade.
If you had to take your best guess, who's next?
To go to drop out?
Yeah.
Probably Warren.
Yeah.
It's either going to be Warren. Well, no, Warren's very prideful. I don't know. She's very prideful. I think Buttigieg. We'll see. We'll see what happens in Iowa. Is it Iowa or Idaho? I can't remember. What's the first one?
I think it is
Iowa.
Yeah, I think it's Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens there with the first state there, and we'll see what happens. But
well, I mean, with Kamala Harris, it was almost like last month. I thought I heard something or read something that she was pulling certain people out of states that she was giving up in, and I was like, well, that's a sign that she's done. And here it is, boom! It like hit today. We were doing the live show earlier actually, and we broke the news on that. I was like, oh, she just quit. But it was almost like I foresaw that. So I'm gonna look into who else is pulling. Because their money starts getting tight, you know, and they're like, all right, shut down. You know, they start shutting down in certain cities and telling people to go, like you said, move, go over here, go to this state, help us there. Booker, yeah, is Booker gone? Isn't he already gone? Booker,
he's still hanging around, man.
Is he? Yeah, I think he'll be the next to go. He was hurting for me last month.
You're probably right. Yeah. He's got those wide eyes, man. Those really weird, wide, open eyes. I can't
like shift.
Look at the guy.
So impeachment tomorrow, or the startings of it. So we'll see how that ain't going to go nowhere. They just came out and DOJ cleared Trump. And they said there's all that stuff the Democrats put in. None of it's a crime. Everything they labeled is fine. They actually went to Trump tweets even and brought tweets in there. Look, he tweeted this. Awesome.
Hey, man, they're going to do what they got to do, man. They're going to play dirty, dirty, dirty. So we're just gonna watch the game play out, my friend.
All right,
think of all the great video material this is going to make for when he wins in 2020, and we can compare 2016 to 2020 meltdowns of snowflakes after he won the election. It's going to be amazing, right? The first time it was a fluke of history, right? It was a way they sneaked through the electoral college, but the second time, it's going to be awesome. And there's no way you're going to be an incumbent president with an employment rate under 4%, unemployment rate, under 4%, GDP's up. There's no way you're going to beat them.
The numbers are solid.
People are very, very happy with their finances right now.
Yeah. They want you to be unhappy with the made up stuff they tell you that's not even there. And that's what's crazy. So, all right, you guys, we're going to shut this one down. I'm beat. It's going on 10 p.m. here. Thank you guys for joining. I know it's a little less than I normally have, but it's pretty late. And I don't know if I can't imagine all my people are right here with me on the East Coast or something. I mean, I don't get it, but whatever.
Well, thanks for inviting me along, brother. If you ever want to do one of these with Airborne Woodman, man, bring me on. I like Woodman.
We'll get something scheduled. I'll keep in the next few days. We can do something again. Woodman wanted to be on tonight, and I actually texted him. I didn't even tell you, but about an hour ago, I was like, about 2 hours ago, I was like, are you on tonight? And he said, brother, I've been at the doctor. He had some issues all day and just was out of it, tired. And he said he'd probably be watching. I don't even see him commenting tonight, but he actually asked 2 nights ago, can I be on that? And I was like, oh yeah, you're on. So I was going to have the three of us. So we'll get something arranged and do it again.
Cool, man. Cool.
All right, you guys.
Well, thanks to your audience, man, for watching. I appreciate you guys. And you're always welcome over on the American Joe Show because, Mike is I consider a good friend, even though we have yet to meet. I'm thankful to know him, and I'm thankful for his channel. And you guys are always welcome over there on the show.
All right.
So,
thank you so much, brother. All right, you guys. And again, make sure you're take a look in the description box down below. I'm going to leave American Joe's link. If Grillin's already done it several times, but I'll grab that and put it more permanent. Great channel over there. Great information. Him and Doug Ducote, that's something else they got going on other than just American Joe's channel alone. But busy guy, and I'm glad he was able to give us some time tonight. And again, thank you guys for joining in. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update video tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow.
recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
Fight for what's right. Fight for